Hello, everybody. This is HQ. I'm back here again, figuring out this live thing, right? So today, I have this video from Kendra G, where it was an older lady, right? And, she came up with a lot of interesting things about her life. And I was like, wait a minute, let me do a live of this, right? And let me at least, start out my lives doing something, interesting and fascinating, right? So this video is about an older lady, and she's similar to my age, right? She might be a year or two younger than me. So I was like fascinated by the fact that she lived almost a completely different life than I had. And yet here she stood, but with flaws. And as she talked, she revealed all of the flaws. All of the flaws. And maybe not even in a good way. It's a lesson. So we're going to get into it.
Okay. I'm going to bring Don back. I think he got disconnected by accident. Hello?
I'm just in my sewing room.
Okay. You got
a sewing room.
All right.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can see you, Miss Sherry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hi.
Is it Miss Sherry? You want me to call you Miss Sherry?
Yes. Okay. It's echoing.
Okay. Can you give me good light? And I need you to stay situated, love.
No, Miss Sherry's fine. I'm going to where there's more light.
You're going to where there's more lights. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, trust me. Once I sit, I'm good.
Once you say you're good, you're good?
Once I sit, let me turn the other light on. But Sherry's fine. Sherry's fine.
Okay. You ready, Sherry, so I can start with you, baby?
Yes.
All right.
Sherry is fine.
Sherry, where you calling me from, Sherry? Stop moving, honey. Get situated, baby girl. We a live show.
I'm here, Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, Memphis, Tennessee. How old are you?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, how old are you, love?
I am 55 and a half.
Okay, 55 and a half. What's your zodiac sign?
I am a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. You have any kids?
I do have children. I have 3 adults. I am a Sagittarius.
How old are your 3 adult children?
35 and a half, 37 and a half, and 39 and a half.
Sherry, you could just tell me
35, 37, 39.
There you go. There you go, Sherry. What do you do for a living?
I drive tractor trailers.
Tractor trailers. So you're a truck driver?
I'm a truck driver.
Okay, truck driver. Mm-hmm. All right. So we got Sherry, Memphis, Tennessee, 55, Sagittarius, mom to 3 adult children, drives trucks. Have you ever been married?
No.
No. Are all your kids by the same man?
No.
How
2
many
donors. 2 donors, never married.
2 donors?
2 dads. I'm the only parent that stuck around. I'm the only one that took responsibility of it. I don't want to give credit to somebody that didn't stick around.
Oh, oh, oh. Okay, fair enough.
If she say that out loud like that, I wonder how she described those fathers to those children of hers. She said donor, right? Meaning they ain't worth a damn, right? Because I'm wondering, how did she describe him to her children? Hmm, interesting.
All right, Sherry. So we got
Yes.
Sherry, Memphis, Tennessee, 55, Sagittarius, mom of three adult children by two donors, never married. Is a truck driver. What kind of man you looking for, Sherry?
Um, my situation is kind of different for me as far as I'm concerned. I have not been intimate with anybody. I'm at the 20-year mark.
Woo.
Whoa, man, that made my teeth hurt. Ouch. But why? Hmm. Wait a minute. Hold up. 20?
So 20-year mark, documented, medically documented.
You notice she said that full chested, right? As though that was like a badge of honor. I don't think that comes across as a badge of honor though. It almost comes across pathetic. Like cause she's not you ain't horse face ugly, right? You ain't just psychological. Well, we don't know, but you ain't horse face ugly. So why would you not have sex and you only have donors with children? Let's go.
Documented. So I never married, and I focused more on raising my kids and getting myself together. So now I'm ready. So as far as what kind of man, just somebody that's mature. I'm sort of
Wait, do you honestly think that you wait a minute? Okay, it depends on the reason. But what reason would somebody have to go 20 years when they had sex before and then they stop having sex? Only reason I could think of is some kind of trauma. But what kind of trauma? But you got three kids though. Hmm.
considering marriage, but then I've never even been in a relationship, never had a boyfriend. So it's kind
Whoa, 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 whoa. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on. No boyfriend ever. You're calling the baby daddy sperm donors. No husband, no boyfriend, no relationship. What's I mean, how does one not have any kind of contact or any kind of history with a man at all? But you don't have no relationship, but you got kids. Hmm.
kind of difficult for me to kind of say. I tell you what I do want. I want a man. I want a heterosexual man. It's beyond more than a beard. It's beyond more than muscles. A man. I'm not heterosexual. No games. No switching up. No trying to figure it out. A man. Period.
Okay. Couple questions. So, did you make a conscious decision 20 years ago? I guess you were 35 at the time to be celibate.
Hmm.
And was the goal marriage or what reason?
I'll tell you exactly what happened. For one, I don't have a high body count. The amount of time I was with my kids' dad is each. I've only been with one twice and one once. So I had my
Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up, back up. She said she only had sex 3 times. That's what I heard. Did anybody else hear anything different other than she only had sex 3 times?
first grandbaby coming. I had my first grandbaby coming at that time, and even
You had
though
the
I never
first
had a
grandbaby at
boyfriend,
35?
yes. So what I'm about to say is that was enough for me to just decide I didn't want that. I didn't want to be put myself out there. Yes, I had one at 35.
Okay. So how old was your child that had you made your grandmother at 35?
How old was my child?
I'm just trying to get the timeline together.
Wait, the timeline of my child or timeline of me?
Oh, okay, I see. You have a 35-year-old child. So you had a baby at 20.
No, you got it wrong. But I don't want to focus on that because that's them. You asked me what you asked me what prompted me to wait the 20 years. It just happened to be end up 20 years. I'm at my 20-year mark. When I found out I was having a grandbaby, that's when I put off everybody. I focused on my kids, the grandbaby, and I just haven't been with anybody else since then. And I
Okay.
didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything, trust.
Okay, if you didn't miss anything, then why are you missing something now that you got on here and said with your full chest? I want a man. I want a man. That's what you said. Full throttled, full chested. I want a man. But what's the urgency right now? Hmm? You went 20 years without it. What's going on now?
Me.
Okay, so just for clarity, so you consciously decided not to date for the last 20 years.
I consciously, of course, consciously, no dates.
Okay, so what prompts you to say that you're ready now?
For one, after I've done the math, I didn't realize it had been at 20-year mark. So I don't know if you're hearing the echo. So if I'm seem to be repeating something, it's not deliberate.
Wait, what? Wait, wait. She said she didn't realize 20 years it went by? She didn't realize 20 years had went by since she had sex. She said she wasn't missing nothing. Okay, I got you.
So what prompted me now was 20 years is a long time, but I made it. I survived it. I don't have any diseases, no drama. And one of the main things is I have a grandchild. I told them, the situation about me choosing to not have sex, no relationship, even though I've never been in a relationship. And for that child to be a teenager now, to tell me that they're motivated to wait until they're married. So, 20 years. And that child is almost 20 years old now. So a grandchild.
That ain't a flex. That's like pathetic. That's like, that's wild. This is wild.
Okay. So now you're
So
ready. What are your deal
I'm
breakers
ready.
here? What are your deal breakers?
My deal breakers are I'm sort of leaning more towards marriage or long-term relationship. So the deal breakers are no premarital counseling, no premar a breaker has to be no premarital counseling, no background check. I don't want to date somebody or be with somebody that I can't verify who they are. No, no intense health exam, no health department visit. I'm going to want to have everything.
What in the hell are we talking about here? What is she talking about? What? No background, no health records, no what? Wait a minute. Are we applying for a damn job? Well, I mean, if you put it like that, well, then maybe you are applying for a job. But she doing too much. You doing too much. Most of us, most of us have lived our lives out here. Most of us have gotten messy. Most of us have gotten into relationships and broken up more times than a little. You haven't been in any kind of relationships. And first off, when you go, I'm assuming she would be talking like this on her date, right? If she talking like this on her date, she ain't gonna keep too many dates. First off, us women, older women, only have a limited pool candidate anyway. She seemed like she a little further out there than me. So therefore, she might get booty calls and maybe she won't. Maybe I will, but maybe I won't. But I bet you I can catch a relationship quicker than she can. Talking about background checks and health department thing. And I get it. I get it. A lot of y'all be talking that woo woo fa fa foo foo. But a lot of y'all, that's not a priority. And at our age, you shouldn't be asking for craziness. The person is old enough where you can look at their background and look at the way they live their life and know whether they done did what they needed to do or didn't do what they needed to do. This is nuts.
Checked out because I don't want nobody's diseases. I'm not going to go 20 years plus with nobody, without being intimate. So I'm not a fan.
You ain't gonna live that damn long. What difference does it make? They ain't handing out Ebola out here. You ain't gonna live that long. What difference does that make? This is wild. I can understand if you were 20, but you almost 60.
Being touched per se. So I want to make sure I'm safe. I want to make sure that the person I'll be with is safe. So it just has to be a healthier situation for me.
No, 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 no. She got too many hangups. She want the lights on. She don't like doggy style. Missionary is the only thing y'all doing. It's fucked up.
Okay. Sherry, I do want you to respond to this because if I make you a highlight, this definitely will be stated. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond to it. I think listen, it was your decision to take yourself off the dating market for 20 years.
I'm proud of it.
Okay, that's proud. No one's saying you shouldn't be. But one will say, now you're 55 and now you're ready to date and you're on record saying you've never actually even been in a relationship. You know, I don't play God and I believe I'll never try to play God, but they're going to say it's too late. They're going to say things like you waited too long for you to be serious about a relationship when this is something that you should have been focusing on whatever the last 20 years. So I want you to at least to respond to that because that's definitely going to be stated.
What can she say? She can't say nothing because it's the truth. If I would have not gotten married, had children, see, she had children, but she never had a relationship. I didn't do anything but have a relationship with one single human being for all of the time that she has gone without having sex. I have had a relationship with one person married that long. What does she know about having a relationship? And she seemed to be a little bit off, which means there's some issues. And they gonna say it's been a long time. Yeah. See, my mother always told me, you marry for love the first time. Second time you get married, you marry for money. And the third time you marry for companionship. You're in the middle of having a companionship life. You don't get to make demands. And you demanding all kinds of craziness, background check, medical records, all this wild shit.
Sure. Sure. I have a question for you. With me being new to this, I keep getting echo. Is it better if I take what is it called? The Bluetooth off? You think that'll work?
If you desire, I don't have the echo. So maybe it's the echo for you, but it's not an echo.
I'm going to try, okay?
Okay.
Because it's repeating everything. Okay, if you don't have it, I'm gonna leave because I don't want to cut myself off. So first thing, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'd rather my situation be this than I've been out and about putting myself out there, putting myself in danger.
No, 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 no. Nobody our age. And I'm speaking sister to sister because we similar ages. I'm just a little bit older than you. No, no, no. I never would have wished my time be anything different than other than what I have. Ain't no way you sat up in the house with a dry puss for 20 years and you think that's better than being out here at least attempting to have relationships, at least attempting to live your life. There's no way you think what you did was either normal or better. She's trying to say she's better. No, you're not. You're in a worse situation because you're old.
Danger. I mean, we all see the news. We see the cases where there's abuse on both sides, male or female. So this has been a way of keeping myself safe, keeping my kids safe.
Uh-oh, that's the whole theme, y'all. Something traumatic happened to this lady. Ain't no way she's sitting up in the house with a dry puss for 20 years talking about at least I'm safe. Safe from what? She only had sex with her baby daddy, the first baby daddy 2 times, and the second baby daddy only 1 time. And she got pregnant all 3 times. That's crazy as hell. How you get pregnant 3 times? 3 times you done had sex in your life. That's wild.
And keeping my grandchildren safe. So once again, I have not missed out on anything. I'm healthy. All of my anatomy, as far as being a real woman, is functional. It's not infected. Hey, I'm good. It's been well worth it. It's been well worth it. So if somebody's thinking it's too late for me, that's their opinion. I'm not used up. I'm not out here putting myself out there in the streets. I don't hang out at the clubs. I don't have folks, in and out of my body.
Yeah, but you didn't live your life. You didn't live your life. You led the life of being only a mother. When there's other parts of the life that you just neglected, like being a wife, like being a lover, like being a friend, like being a companion. All of those things you missed out on. The only thing you did was take care of babies' diapers, formula, and wiping asses. That's it. Nobody wants that kind of life. Nobody wants to just be a mother. You want to be a companion to someone. You stepped out of the game for real. And now you want to step back into the game and you 50 some odd years old, but you making demands?
I'm good.
Okay.
So
Thank you
if that's their opinion, if they'd rather somebody that has more activity going on sexually, that's their choice. But I'm somebody who has not.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for responding. Now we'll continue. So you gave me your deal breakers, correct?
Sure.
What does
Yeah.
the guy have to look a
Just
certain way?
uh, I gave you just a few of them, but that's a start. Uh, I'm only 4'11",
You're only
so
four. Oh, you're 4'11"? Okay.
I'm just barely 4'11", just barely.
She's a little person? Wait a minute. What? Wait. All that meat on her and she a little person? She come to my titties.
Okay. So does the
Just
guy have to look
barely.
does the guy have to look a certain way?
I'd rather he be definitely, not 4'11" or below.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, just taller than 4'11". I think that's
I
good.
prefer somebody with both legs. I mean, with a complete body.
Whoa. Whoa. I would think that would be standard, wouldn't you?
And I'm just barely 4'11". I'm between 14 and 4'11". So I want to make sure all the anatomy is there because even though I won't even say I've been on the dating market because I honestly have never been in a relationship. I do have my children. There are no regrets. I'm new at this. I'm ready. I'm actually excited. So I just want to make sure all of his anatomy works. No drugs. Uh,
Y'all see how that y'all see how wild that shit sounds. She want to make sure all the anatomy works. She ain't never been in no relationship. She only had sex 3 times. She ready. Ready for what? I'm old as hell and I'm ready to sit my black ass down. What's she ready to do? And she's 4'11". And she look like she got some hefty weight on her. And she making demands. It's crazy.
not a heavy drinker. You know, just the standard stuff.
Okay.
I don't have
Um,
like a preference for looks.
okay. All right, let's keep going. Sherry, should he make a
Sure.
certain amount of money?
Um, um, I haven't given that much thought, so I'll just say, what did I write down? Because I didn't like
This is wild. What the hell? What the hell?
The idea of trying to come up with a number. I put down point zero zero 1 cent.
Look at Kendra face. Look at Kendra face. Look at Kendra face. Like what?
Just have a cent. Have a penny. Have a penny. I'm good with that. Have a penny. Have a penny. Even less than a penny. Just have a penny.
So he could be homeless and not have a house.
I didn't say all that.
You just said
As
have
far
a
as an
penny,
amount,
have a
that's just
penny.
the amount I'm giving you. I have a penny. I can go get a penny off the table right now.
Right, but
I
when
can go
you're
get a
saying
penny off
the
my table right
minimum,
now.
okay, yes, but the reason why the
This is when the interview starts to unravel. Once Kendra started asking her deep diving or a little bit deeper questions, that whole facade just slides straight to the gutter. She can't hold it together. After that penny comment, no.
this question matters is if you say the bar is 1 cent, that could be a homeless man because a homeless man can have 1 cent. So is that the minimum? Like there's no requirement. He could have literally no
There's no
job.
requirement.
Okay.
No,
Okay, fair
I
enough.
didn't say. I did not say to be unemployed. I did
Well,
not say to
well,
be homeless. I can go off the table right now and get a penny. I can go get a penny.
right,
I have a
but you
penny.
said okay, I understand that, Sherry. But you said the
Hmm.
minimum is to have a penny. So when you say the minimum is to have a penny, I'm thinking of the minimum, right? So like
Right.
I'll give you a larger example. When a woman tells me they want a man that makes 100K, I'll say, okay, if a man made 80K, should he not DM me, right? So you can understand where this goes with this. So it's fine if your minimum is 1 cent, but one
Hmm.
cent to me equals you could virtually have nothing because we can all have 1 cent and have nothing besides 1 cent. So my question is that fine with you?
Uh, uh,
Told y'all, it's unraveling. The brain don't compute that kind of shit. She's used to doing whatever she wants to do and not being challenged. She's that type person. Now Kendra is challenging her thought processes and she don't like it. That's why she's looking at Kendra like, what you doing?
If it's not fine with you, then you should just say that so you can get what you desire. So these
I don't know
questions are
everybody's
asked.
situation. I don't know where anybody lives. I don't know their cost of living. I am okay with 0.001.
There you have it. Fair enough. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Sure. Mhm.
But we got to keep in mind that she's 4'11". She comes to my titties, right? 4'11".
We got to see
All
your
right.
full
Let me see.
body.
Gotcha. I'm gonna try to.
Oh, we got a booty.
All that ass, all of that. At 4'11", she got to be huge.
Okay. We see you. Okay. We
Okay.
got you, Sherry girl. Okay. Whoop. We got you, mama. Okay.
And
Sherry,
I only want
what?
I only want that for one person, So
You
just
only
just
what?
All of that for one person. Make that shit make sense. She 4'11". She all of 200, 220, 250, 200. Yeah, she's a bigum. That's what you call them, a bigum.
just for and like I said, I'm new to this, so I am already nervous. So I just don't want to stress myself out, trying to with the little fine details. Because I know that they'll come. It'll happen. I'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. Now you already told me because the next question is when was your last relationship? And you have never been in one.
I have honestly never been in a relationship. Oh,
Why the hell she do that shit? Why she do that with her lips?
I have never been in a relationship.
So with your children's dads, they were in relationships either.
Not enough. No,
Okay. Um,
not. It was just something that happened growing up in the environment that I grew up in. I was way young, and it just was not the most positive environment. So I just decided that okay, I have my children. I'm not going to beg anybody to take care of their children. I'm not going to beg somebody to be a stepdaddy. So I actually raised my kids on my own. It wasn't easy, but I did it. I did it without stripping. I did it without drugs. I did it without being locked up. I did it without committing a crime. I made it happen.
Whoop-de-doo, good for you. Most of us can get through life without being strippers, without doing all of that wild shit. And we can still raise kids too, but we out here having sex. We out here having sex though.
Okay, fair enough. We
I
already know
made it
that your last,
happen.
okay. And we already know that your last time of intimacy was 20 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Okay. Oh, and you just real quick, I want to add real quick. One of the things I wanted to add on my list that's a deal breaker, not having a polygraph. So I'm actually okay
What kind of shit is that? Did she just ask for a polygraph? I love it.
with having a polygraph test to prove that or anything else, because I do believe in a polygraph test. So I did want to add that.
Mm,
Wait, hold
mm,
on.
mm.
So you want the man that you're gonna date to take a lie detector test?
That's a possibility, but I mean, as far as me not being with somebody for 20 years, there's certain things I would be okay with answering on a polygraph test.
So I want to make. I understand that you would be okay with that, but you just said a deal breaker for you is a polygraph test. So let me ask you this question again. So
Sure.
is the requirement that a man that you're gonna date has to take a polygraph test, which is a lie detector test?
About some things, more than likely, yes.
Why? Tell me why. The FBI, the CIA, and every damn law enforcement agency does a background and a polygraph and all that other shit, and they can't catch people who lie on those things. And they have criminals in their damn organization. What is the hell of the point in all of that?
Sherry, I don't believe. Listen, I can never say anything absolute because
It's
I'm
going to
not
go
God.
both ways.
I understand. Let me just jump in with this. I'm not
Sure.
God, so I'll never pretend to be God, and I'm a believer. So I believe God can make anything happen. But Sherry, I think this is gonna be a miracle if you find a man to sign up for all this.
You know what? 55 years of living, I've seen what guys have picked. So I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about, other choices that a guy can have. If it's not a situation for me, it's not a situation for me. As long as I'm healthy, happy, safe, and wholesome. That's my concern. So I want to put myself in a situation that's going to be healthy for me. I'm not trying to compete with anybody else. I'm not trying to meet, the status quo of society.
Any man that's our age that looks at her would never ever come my way. We two totally different. We similar in age, a year or two difference, but our philosophy and the way we live our life is two totally different ways. The man that would go for her would never come for me, and the man that would come for me would never go for her.
Fair enough. I do understand the concern. I understand what you're saying logically, but I think this is why dating at times, I'm not even saying dating with sex, you got to know how to cohabitate with another person. So it's almost like because you haven't dated in 20 years, you're looking at this as a business transaction than just a natural getting to know a person's transaction. Now, again, I'm not saying you just sleep with any good body. I'm in agreement that you just don't open your legs up for anybody, right? And I'm even in agreement if you like, let's make sure we're healthy. Let's take a STD test and all of that. But I think requiring a lie detector test, that might, you gotta, I don't know how many men gonna sign up for that.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody has what they want in a date, in a marriage, or whatever. I've been very observant all these years. I've been paying attention. So if somebody is more worried about that than being with a woman that's not argumentative, a woman that doesn't have a high body count, a woman that is honest and not being locked up, a woman that's not chosen to do trashy things to raise up the kids, that's their choice.
I got all that. I got most of that. Just Most of that.
I'm not gonna be upset. Once I won't miss anything.
Okay. So I guess this is another question. So if you don't
Sure.
find a man to sign up for what you request, you're fine. Like you're fine going the rest of your days the way you've been going for the last 20 years.
I told y'all when the shit gets to her brain pan, she can't think. She is on a loop, and Kendra is challenging all of those goofy thoughts that are going through her head. Are you okay with staying without sex for the rest of your life? She say, yeah. I say, fuck no. But me and her, two totally different people.
I'm not concerned about either one. I mean, if I'm healthier and happier, continuing to be just me. I mean, I've gotten this far. I don't see what the problem is. I know that the norm is to be sleeping around. The norm is to be in and out of relationships. The norm is to be with somebody for an extended amount of time that you're not even married to.
She just called her own self cuckoo. She just said she just called her own self a cuckoo.
That's not what I want.
I want to say that's the norm. I don't agree with that being the norm. I mean, yes, that's a there's a lot of dating options, right? And there are healthy dynamics and dating options that don't just it's not just a no sex for 20 years or being a hoe. Those aren't the only two options, Jerry.
Sorry,
You know
this
what I'm
thing is
saying?
tight.
Like it's
I'm
almost like
listening. It's tight.
huh?
I didn't say that, but I don't understand why I'm being interrogated about my choices.
Well, you're not
I don't
necessarily
understand
being.
what.
Well, hold on. I apologize if you feel like you're being interrogated. I'm not trying to interrogate you. I am trying to get clarity. And I also know my audience, and I know you said you don't know this show, but I know this show. And I know if I make you a highlight, and some of the things are already being said within the comments. But see, dating is almost like a sport. Imagine you haven't ridden a bike for 2 years, not even, I mean, 20 years. I'm not talking about the sex aspect. I'm just talking about cohabitating with another person because there's a lot of compromise. There's a lot of different things.
I
So
understand
yes,
all that. I
right.
understand
So
all of that.
No, she don't. No, she don't. Because you can tell by the way she's antagonistic towards what Kendra is trying to tell her that she's not used to being in a relationship with anybody. She's not used to being challenged. She probably telling them kids what to do, told them what to do. They gonna do it. Get your tail in the corner, do this, that, and the third. But she ain't never had no man to come around her and tell her you need to calm down. That entitled attitude that she has, that arrogant attitude. She keeps saying, "Well, I ain't been no hoe. I ain't been out here in the streets. I ain't been doing this, this, and this." That's not a flex, ma'am. What you're talking about is not a flex. Basically, you must have had a very lonely, embittered life for you to simply stop having sex after 3 times and not have any contact with men. Something traumatic happened. We don't know because you ain't going to admit that. But the attitude, you need to get rid of the attitude if you want to find you a man. Because a man ain't coming over there with no background checking, no medical records at 55. You need to be giving that pussy away.
right. So I think we listen, your decisions have been your decisions, but I do think the questions I'm asking are valid with you ready to enter the dating market again for being off of it for 20 years.
Well, part of the reason, one of the little snippets of why I was off the dating market is I'm aware. I see what goes on around me. I've been very observant of relationships in my own family, in my community, in the news, in the media, with celebrities. I see what goes on, and it is not all good. And I don't
Okay,
want
but
all
Sherry,
that.
can I
So
ask you one thing? I
what?
don't want to cut you off, but do you have every time I think of you give relationships, it's the bad ones. Have any good, healthy relationships that you can focus on? Because yes, there are drama in relationships, and you are right. There are people who have had bad experiences, but there's also beautiful dynamics in relationships. And I wonder if you pay any of those attention.
Of course I have, but we know the numbers. The numbers are
But
not
see,
that
look, you
most
said of
relationships
course,
are
but
healthier.
that's not
I'm
true,
doing
Sherry.
everything I can to protect me. If a person is not interested, he's not interested.
Being on a bench is not a good thing, ma'am. That's the whole point. The point is we are put on this planet to have experiences with other human beings. I'm not saying get out there and get buck wild, but what I am saying is 20 years is a long time to go without having any kind of relationship, without having any kind of contact, without having any kind of relationship where you interacted on a day by day basis. You haven't even had a boyfriend. He ain't nobody even came to your home. Ain't nobody even came and talked to you, touched you, felt on you, felt you up. No, heck, see, no.
That's fine. But I just want to say this. It's not true that there's more bad than good. It's all about what you give attention to. Right. So I know equally both. And I actually know more healthy relationships than bad relationships.
I've
And I think
seen
that
good relationships. I've seen good relationships where it turns out to be behind closed doors. It was something totally different. I'm doing what I need to do to keep Sherry safe. If a person doesn't want to take a test,
But you can't be scared all of your life. You cannot be scared all of your life, and more than 1/3 of your life has been on the bench scared, man.
or just like alimony. I don't really believe in long term alimony. There's a lot of things I don't agree with. That's up to me and that person to figure out what the next steps we are willing to take together. So a polygraph test, there's some things I'm willing to take it for as far as me answering questions. I take them for a job all the time. It's part of the
fair,
situation. So you're
fair
saying
enough.
it's a contract? A marriage certificate is a contract. It's a contract.
Oh, that's right. Because your goal is still marriage.
I'm considering in that direction,
Okay. What
but
were
I'm
your
not just
three?
going to throw myself in head first. I'm sorry.
I said, what were your three flaws, honey?
I told you, Kendra's messing her head up. She's not used to somebody challenging what's her worldview. This is her first time dipping her toes into the dating pool, and she lost.
My three flaws, one of them, I definitely would say considering not taking the process and taking the steps to enter the area of possibly being in a long term relationship that could end up in marriage. So just considering, because I kept thinking of reasons why not to do it. And they're very valid reasons. If everybody wants to throw themselves out there, that's their business. I'm protecting me, my heart, and my safety. Everybody isn't safe. Everybody isn't honest. Everybody is not going to tell.
Yeah, but you can't live your life like that. This is sad. I'm just gonna say she and I are similar ages. This this is sad. This is sad right here. I mean, she sounds wild. This shit sounds wild as hell. Okay? Ain't no way that somebody should have been 20 years out of the loop like this.
Tell me that they're heterosexual and trying to be they're not something else. There's a lot of BS out there. So I'm going to figure out every way I can to filter. So that's a flaw, considering not going through the.
The man she's looking for ain't coming over there. The man she's looking for ain't coming over there. Cause she don't have none of the F's. She's not the fit, she's not the friendly, she's not the feminine. The man she's looking for got money, he can make choices. He ain't finna choose her. He's not choosing you though. Cause there's something wrong with the brain pan. I can tell something is wrong with the brain pan. That's all. Whenever Kendra talked to her and she looked at Kendra strange, which was about 3 or 4 times during this interview, I knew she was a little bit off. But
The process, considering not following through with some of my goals that I put on the back burner because I was taking care of other people. I need to start pursuing some of my goals. I need to do that. A deal breaker. I mean, I definitely would say getting into better shape. This got to be the last time I'll be this size. So I'm looking for my partner to be somebody I can take this journey with to get back into the muscular body that I normally have. There's a lot of muscle under there. So The third thing was
You got a long way to go before you hit muscle. She got a big ass. That's cool, except she's only 4'11", okay? She's 4'11", and she's all good. See, when somebody 4'11", they should be weighing like 100 pounds, maybe even less. She got to be topping 225, 250.
we definitely be getting into better shape.
Okay.
Now, in spite of the outside, I'm healthy. Just had all my physicals, all my blood work. I'm healthier than some people half my size. So,
Okay. Sherry, what's the
so
age range?
there's a few things.
Okay. What's the age range you want to date, Sherry?
The age range, let's go. I thought it was funny to think of it, so I'm taking it way up there. Let's do 119 back down to 55.
So you'll go
I
to
doubt if there's somebody out there 119. It's just a random number.
119 to 50.
I can't look at her like, girl, you buck wild. you buck wild, boy. She crazy.
So 55 to 119.
I've really been thinking about would I date somebody younger than me? Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Could he have kids already?
I'm sorry.
Could the man have kids previously?
I prefer that the children are the age of mine because I'm not looking to be a glorified stepmom. I'm not looking to do that. So I prefer the children be my kids' age or older and or beyond the child support age.
Okay.
What? What?
Oh, should he be in Memphis, Tennessee?
Not necessarily. It could be in a whole nother country.
Okay. Hold on. He could be in Africa.
It could be anywhere on this planet.
So
You better have her. She better be spreading that damn net, cause you better be spreading that net, cause you got to search far and wide for what you looking for.
if he's in a different country, are you going to relocate to his country or will he come to America?
There's a possibility.
Well, look, now you're going to hit the jackpot because I got a lot of men in Africa who's trying to marry a woman in America. You could be married by the end of this weekend.
And them Africans love them big ass girls with the big butts. They love them. You right up their alley.
I doubt it.
No, I don't. That could happen. Now, I don't know if he's going to do all the things you requested, but there's a man who will tell you right now that he love you down to the ground in Ghana or Nigeria and will marry you before this show is over. So you open to...
And there's a woman that's not gullible enough to fall for that and be married by the end of the week. That's me. There's no way I do something that fast without doing myself due diligence. Due diligence. It's up to me to protect me. It's up to me to make sure I'm going into a healthy relationship. It's up to me to do my homework. It's up to me.
Okay, fair enough. All right, last question, Sherry. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I don't know if luck is the word, but we'll use the word luck. I'm not confrontational. You'll never get an argument out of me. Never.
She lying, y'all. She lying, y'all. You know from the way she been talking to Kendra that she combative. She combative. She want her own way. If you don't do it right, she gonna kick you to the curb. She looking for a specific man. Impossible, but she looking.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I'm not out at the clubs and in the street. I'm loyal. I actually would prefer somebody that's into agriculture, maybe farming or ranching, something like that.
She alienated herself even more. How many black folks out there on the farm living in Timbuktu? Come on, lady, come on.
That, or at least have the ability to provide that. So I'm a woman that loves to be outdoors. I'd rather be fishing or hunting or something like that. I'd rather be raising chickens or doing my plants like I do, as opposed to being out in the streets or hanging out in a club. or being new. Just a lot of things I could be doing. So I think because I'm pretty down to earth, I'm very, I'm just real down to earth.
Okay. Sherry, are you on the Kendra G Singles dating app?
I tried doing that, but for some reason, when I would get to the point of, I don't think it went through. It wouldn't go through.
Okay, well, Sherry, I'm quite sure is taken. We have usernames now. So do you want to be Miss Sherry and make that your username so the guy can find you that is willing to rise to the occasion for all your requirements?
Miss Sherry, Sherry, Sherry will do just fine.
You want to do Miss Three Sherrys?
Miss Sherry, Sherry, Sherry will do just fine.
Okay, so that will be her username. So when you get to the app, download the app, Kendra G Singles. What kind
Mhm.
of phone do you have?
It's an Android.
Android. Okay, so go to the Google Play Store, type in Kendra G Singles, create your profile. There's going to be a username section right by your name, and put in
Hmm.
Miss Sherry, Sherry, Sherry. And that's how the guy who is willing to take a polygraph test and more can reach you.
That's wild. That's just wild. And Kendra talking to her like she normal. That shit ain't normal. You out of the game for 20 years. You could tell she gonna tell you what to do, how you gonna do it. She want a background, polygraph, blood test, medical work. She want all this and she 55 years old. Make it make sense, y'all. You need to be giving it away. You need to be figuring out who gets into your DM. You need to be figuring out how you can get over to Africa so you can find one of them men who like them big asses. Because you over here talking 2 point crazy to American men ain't gonna put up with that. Even older men love women that are fit to a certain extent. You 4'11, you all a good 200, because you got all that ass and she's a little person, y'all. A little person with all that ass and that attitude and that mouth. No sex. Ain't had sex in 20 years. Don't know what to do in the bedroom. Don't know how to suck dick. Don't know how to talk to somebody properly. Don't know how to treat a man. Don't know how to serve a man. Don't know how to have a man in the house. It's all negative. There's nobody that's going over there unless she got money. They ain't going over there unless she got money. And you know what? That's worse than growing old. That's worse than growing old. When somebody wants you for your money. That's wild to me. That's wild.
So just to let you know, I did try quite a few times, but when I get to the part of the distance, it would boot me out. So I've done it about 4 times, but it just never let me go past that.
Okay, well, the app has been updated. So that problem should be fixed, but you can set up a profile.
Okay. I have a question for you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, we're done.
Okay.
But what's your question, honey?
I just want to ask you, I'm pretty good at reading body language and the tone of voice and that. You just seem to be irritated with me with my choices. I thought I'd do your show because it would be an open platform for me to for me to take these steps.
Well, let me say this. I don't want to use the word irritation. And this is why I said a couple of times. And I did jump in and tell you what I believe a lot of people will say in the comment section.
Hmm.
But at the same time, and I always try to say this first because I'm not God. So I can never say anything for absolutes. But I do feel like you have a lot of unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating. And it sounds like you're very fearful to align with somebody else, which is understandable, but I think that fear is going to keep you in the dynamic that you've been in for the last 20 years. I think your life experience is speaking to you out loud of why you have not been able to align with somebody in the last 20 years. And I'm not going to use the word wasted because you have every right to use the years that you want to use them the way you want to use them. But now you're telling us at 55 and a half, you're ready to get married and you're ready for the dating game. But I think there's a lot of things at your age you just are not aware of when it comes to dating in the opposite sex. Now, again, I'm not God, so I can't say anything is impossible, but I think you might be an impossible case.
Wait, I've watched your show quite a bit, so I've seen some of the people that come on here, and I've never seen. I mean, I'm talking about some serious shenanigans, and I've never seen or heard them get this kind of pushback from you,
Well, first of
just
all,
because
you
I'm choosing to
asked,
keep myself
listen, no,
healthy.
well, let's just be clear. I wasn't, you asked for this information. I was ready to end the live. There's probably a lot of times I have these thoughts that I never share because, again, you're here to find someone. The only reason why I'm sharing with you my thoughts is because you directly asked me. I was ready to end the live after we got to the part of when you said what your name was on Instagram. So if you're asking me what you felt, and I probably felt it with several other guests who did not ask like you asked, so I never shared.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Bye.
That's wild that Kendra would say, I can't help you. That's the first time I have ever heard Kendra say, I cannot help you. I cannot help you. And it's sad for her to say that, but it is what it is, right? This lady right here wants somebody to come and jump in her life, and she ain't had no life in 20 years. It's almost pathetic. It's sad, but it's a mental block there because something traumatic happened between her having sex for them 3 times and her having those children. Something happened and she cannot get past it. She hasn't gotten past it. She won't get past it. She gonna be alone. She gonna be alone unless a simp come over there or she paying. That's the only way she gonna get somebody. Me and her are similar ages. 2 totally different worlds, 2 totally different lives that we have lived. That's wild to me.